Hi guys. Okay, so I normally don't do this. Please bear with me. So it's very late. I just got in and I was being called to, I guess, kind of do a pre-pull or just check the energy. A little bit torn. I wanted to go to bed, but I was really called to just take these cards, this deck specifically, and to start pulling. And then, even though it's like kind of a scattered mess as you see, um, I I just am not supposed to pick them up right now. I was supposed to just come on and explain to you the best I can to just kind of start and see, tell you what I'm seeing. I've tucked this guy in because he's not decent. But okay, so I will come back on. This is going to be a short video just to kind of tell you. I felt I was going to take this up and do it neater or just pull again, but I feel guided like I'm just supposed to not touch the cards and just kind of read what started. And then I'll come back on and I'll try to do a short video just following up with this. Okay, so the first card that I pulled is definitely collective energy, and it came out the Empress. The second card that came out was the Devil card here. Okay, the next card that came out after that was the Three of Swords. Nope, it was actually the Justice card next, and then it was the Three of Swords. Okay, I want to go back to the Three of Swords here. It was also after Justice, the Three of Cups came out kind of sideways like that. And then this Queen of Swords here is also, I believe this to be collective energy. I believe it to be the same Empress energy, but it's kind of switching. So there's a few other cards, but let me just kind of give you what I have here. Okay, so all right, so this has to do with something in the past that is resurfacing current energy, right? This has to do with something that was sent out to the collective to harm them. This was something, as we hear a lot, I don't know specifically in what direction this went, but this had to do with heavy deceit and something. Okay, so where do I start? Okay. Okay, so one message is, I think someone out there is maybe losing hope a little bit, or maybe just needing to kind of hear that justice is being served through something that you went through. And I didn't even want to say it like that, like justice being served, but something is happening current time having to do with past something that that incorporated a group of people, very malicious intent and actions taken toward someone in the collective. Now, what I'm seeing with the Three of Swords, okay, so the first, I didn't see the Three of Swords typically as the heartache that Three of Swords can represent. I mean, I know it can basically, like, it can represent a lot of things, but that's the card itself is like, you know, the broken heart with the swords and 3 times. But okay, so on this card, See if I can calm down so I can try to express myself. Okay. At first glance, I saw the past. Like, it was specifically, again, on this card, kind of like past and present. Like, I saw this was some heavy situation that caused past heartache. So this is something that you've healed from. It's also something that's been kind of just looming in your life. I think this is something that was so impactful on your life. It just shifted your world completely. And so although you've healed from this, there has been this kind of looming just essence of, you know, the cause of it never really, I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is that there was never, I don't want to say closure, because you've healed, you've come to some type of your own closure. Of course, we can't wait for closure. Sometimes we have to give that to ourselves, and I do believe that that is what you did. But there has been an expectation for something that to you would symbolize justice. So this is something on this card, past energy. I'm getting a lot from this card, actually. And it's one of the cards that made me want to just not move anything and come on and talk about just what I have going on so far. Okay, so on this card, the first thing I saw was I'm seeing something really heavy from the past that equates to serious, just treacherous, like, so, this was so much. It was like, I'm seeing right now like the domino effect kind of thing, where it's just like one thing after another, after another, after another. And this was something that upset your life so drastically. When I say, I mean, it's a miracle that you made it through. Like, you're aware of an enormous amount of miracles that have been your life since this took place. There's such significance with the events that led to you not just being heartbroken, but nearly losing yourself completely. I mean, you did some serious work to pick up the pieces and to pull yourself back together. And I imagine that just because of the heavy weight that I feel from this, I feel that you did most of this on your own. I mean, as far as the 3D is concerned, but you and the divine, you and God, you and the Holy Spirit and your guides, your ancestors. And I mean, I do feel that you were forced into your intuition. I mean, without a choice, just pushed into it fully. I just got an image in my head of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to remember the movie. I just see the image, Doctor Strange, when she pushes, it had to do with, I think the scene was like astral, like she pushes him out of his own body into his astral form. But I just got that when I was trying to explain this, because it was like you were pushed into spirituality, like fully. Like, you've always been intuitive, and you've possibly been like clairvoyant, clairaudient, but not really. I don't think you fully gathered your gifts, or that they were gifts, or like what exactly. I don't think you identified with it as being gifted, or like you understood really what was going on. But this event was so heavy that it propelled you like straight into deep spirituality. You didn't have a choice. Like you leapt to God because there were so many things wrapped around it that it's like you were forced into your astral body. You knew this was something spiritual happening. You were given signs, you were given messages, you almost like the divine surrounded you and embraced you with so much magic. And when I say magic, I think of energy as magic. I think of God's love as magic, miracles, magic, you know. There's so much magic in the world because everything is energy. And this was just such a magical event in your life that you could not ignore it. It forced you into this almost magical state of being to where you had to listen, and you leapt right into it, to a point where this heartbreak was minimized, not because it was less of a horrible thing that you went through, but because you were surrounded by so much magic, so much energetic support from the divine, so much love, like the divine ancestors, angels, guys. Like you were just picked up and carried through this right before it hit you, before you even knew what was coming, what was going on. It was like you were given a sign that something was going to happen, and then boom, it happens, and then you just like, you were just cradled, and you were like, whoa, what? And you just, you recognized and you felt, because you're so intuitive, that you were being cradled and carried. So even though you were going through this immense trauma, the blow was weakened so almost completely because of the awareness that you had of the spiritual backing and protection and cradling that you had. Okay, so so what I'm seeing with this card is this, I'm seeing this past heartache, but now, current time, I see this as the sword of truth. But then I'm also, second, what I was getting with that, I see a person sleeping here, like so peacefully and so collective. This is you at night, like you're sleeping well. I'm not sure if you're remembering your dreams, but you're sleeping so protected and just well, like you're good when you're sleeping. But then I see like almost like a mask here. Like I see, and I would picture this being some kind of evil eye, maybe a low vibrational energy, maybe something being sent, like black magic of some sort. This is something that is, there's like an anger, like it's trying to get to this person, this collective person. Like I'm seeing I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm seeing a person laying their head on a pillow, and this is very like dream like I almost see this as like a like little smoke, and then like this mask, and it's like very intent on maybe affecting this person in their dreams, spying, harming this person in some way. Then I see, with this almost like roses from the divine, like, and then like a wand that's stopping, a sword now that with this, I guess I would say like entity of some sort that's trying to attack this person while they're asleep. But there is no, like, you're too protected, and that's why you're sleeping so peacefully. I guess maybe why I said you might not be remembering your dreams is because I think you're so protected. You might be in some way being protected from your dreams. Not to say that you're having harsh dreams, but I almost feel like there's something that the divine is not wanting you to see just yet, that you're being protected. I'm seeing this as like a paintbrush, almost like the divine is like, you know, saying like, okay, we're putting you in this protective bubble, and your dreams are protected. Your astral form, like, people cannot spy on you. There is no evil eye being sent to you. You're just like, you're so precious to to your guides, to your ancestors. It's like you're just their flower, their delicate flower. Like, you're just protected, and no matter how much energy is being sent your way, it's not harming you, and you're sleeping like a baby. And I feel like you might be, it might be, I feel like you've been trying to remember your dreams. But if you're not able to, I think right now it's because you're being protected from the any information. There's information that's going to come to you, but right now they want you to rest, and they want your rest to be pure and just complete. Like, they want you to be shielded from anything negative right now. And then I even saw a cross here, but mainly that's, I wanted to talk about that as well. This is just so nice. I just want anyone to know that you are so, so loved and protected. And if you haven't been able to see your dreams as clearly as normal, like, don't feel like it's something that you've done. If you're not able to remember your dreams and you're like puzzled about that, it's just because you're so protected right now. You're even being protected from the sight of, I think they don't want any information to come to you quite about anything that's gonna disrupt you or kind of have you on edge or give you any kind of anxiety. I think the biggest message here is just know that you are so loved and very protected, and you just keep doing what you're doing, because I think that you have been praying, and that you have been like staying in your faith and just kind of working on yourself. But I also get this feeling of not hopeless, but this feeling of you kind of, I think you released something, and I think that release really made something happen, like magically. Like, I think you almost, I get like this over it kind of a feeling. And I feel like you've been waiting and wanting something to happen, and not necessarily something negative, but this, like I said, had impacted you so heavily that your whole life is forever changed. And although you moved on and picked everything up, picked up the pieces, and you've been rebuilding, and you've been doing so phenomenally, that you should be incredibly proud of yourself, because your guides, your ancestors, God is just so proud of you. And I don't want you to think that you haven't been doing enough. I think you did something to release whatever there was a sense of waiting, and you didn't mean to do it, but it was hard not to, because of the impact that this had on your life, and it was just unfinished. It was like this unfinished story, and you were doing the best that you could do, which was, by the way, incredible what you did. But you you still taking those steps, it was almost like you were in a daze, because there was a part of you that was waiting for something, because you had to have hope and faith just to even make it through this far. And then I see like you're walking through this like quicksand, and you're walking through, and and you're not sinking, you're like getting through, but it's just you're just kind of like dragging, and it's not fully you're not gliding through life like I think that you used to before your whole world got turned upside down. And so there is the sense of, I also think that you could feel that things and the energy are not finished. And so you, in a sense, without wanting to wait, you were waiting. You had an expectation of whatever what you envision your justice to look like. Not to say that you were wanting anything bad to happen, but you were definitely wanting truth. Okay? And I think that there was just a crap ton of truth that just wasn't revealed, and that was a huge injustice for you. It was because I think that you are somebody that has been heavily slandered, just defamation of character to the most ridiculous degree. None of it was warranted, and I just feel like that you're such an honest and like truthful person that I think that you just felt this huge injustice, that every day that you went through your life and carried this kind of a scarlet letter, this kind of like a black like smog just around your name. It was like it stained your energetic signature in a sense, or it felt like that to you, because it just felt so unfair, such an injustice. So it was kind of hovering, and there was this expectation that was happening there. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm trying to like pull this out. It's coming to me as I'm saying it, and I'm trying to like it's weird. But yeah, now another thing is, you are somebody that has been or has been speaking about your truth. So I don't know if you're someone that has a platform or you've been speaking to someone. There's like this transfer with the Page of Wands. I almost feel like it's like a transfer, but I feel that it has something to do with ranking of some sort. I don't know what that means. That's just the best word I could find to kind of describe what I'm trying to explain. I'm hoping that makes sense to whoever it should make sense to. It's like you've spoken about things that you've been through, about your story or parts of it. You've spoken about some truth about something, and it was received. And I don't know if you spoke to someone directly. You may have. I almost think there's several different ways in which you've expressed this. Now, I don't know if you might have a platform or in some way there's some communication. I mean, I don't care if this communication was actually in your dreams, that you've been doing some magical ish in your dreams, and like, I don't know, but whatever you're doing, there's this transfer, there's this like I just saw a telephone, I don't know, but like an old-fashioned telephone, I don't know. There's some information that you put out in one way or another, and I feel it was more than one, because the fact that I can't, this is something you spoke for sure, but this is also something that, oh my goodness, there's more than just speaking. There's like expression. Because the reason that I'm struggling a little bit, the Page of Wands, the receiver, somebody heard. I don't feel like it's direct communication, but you might have communicated directly with someone and then the message transferred somehow, maybe again and again, but it reached somebody who you didn't necessarily intend for it to reach. So there is somebody that has received your message. There's someone with information. And if it wasn't from you, then it was, they had some kind of a connection to someone that had a connection to you that you might not be aware of, but there has been a transfer of information. And I want to say this because it's in such a delicate way. It's in such a way that it had to be divinely driven, because it's almost like I'm getting it as, you know how smoke just kind of, the way that it just angelically, like it just kind of moves and kind of just glides in a way, like, or almost like a leaf that's in the wind. Wait, hold on. I don't know if this is somebody making fun of me or if somebody knows what this would know what this means. Do you remember the movie? I believe it was called American Beauty, I want to say. And there was the guy that I think he videoed a leaf or a paper bag. He videoed a paper bag just blowing in the wind and said it was like the most beautiful thing ever. And then there was a comical movie that was oh my goodness, what's it called? Not Another Teen Movie. And it was making fun of movies like that. Like movies like She's All That, I think, was one of the ones they made fun of. And then American Beauty was one of the ones. And they were like, they just labeled a plastic bag the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I don't know. I saw that in my head like a joke, like somebody was making a joke or making fun, because I was trying to use the description of a leaf to describe the transfer of this message. I don't know if that's the most accurate description, but it came to me, so I'm going to say it. So I pictured like the way the wind would carry a leaf, just like kind of dancing in it. But that's only a part of it. Or the way, like when you blow bubbles, like when you had those, the soap, and you would like dip it and then you would like blow the bubbles, and you just watch the bubbles kind of fly. But it's still not perfectly the way I want to say. But there is just something very magical about how this information was transferred. There was a transfer of some information that has pertaining to you, and it could be something that you spoke about. There's something that you did to ignite the movement of this information, and this information wound up falling onto ears of someone. And I again, I'm hearing of like ranking or something. I don't know what that means really, because I wouldn't really get it from the page, but then it's almost like a bystander, like somebody heard, and that person, say if the page knew someone, like an authoritative figure, like, the Queen of Swords, and say that page that got the information knew what to do with the information, or knew how to relay this information to someone who knew what to do with the information, someone that could actually be kind of like an advocate for you. So I'm like, okay, I don't even know what I'm saying, so I hope I'm making sense, because I'm not sure I'm using the right words, but I'm just spitting it out, and I can't exactly hear everything that I'm saying because I'm just trying to. It's just coming to me crazy. Okay, so all right, okay. Part of the message is you have not been forgotten. Justice is happening, will happen, and that's just it. It just will. No worrying. No more worrying. And I'm seeing again the person sleeping. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's kind of just what popped out to me. There was something else. Hold on a minute. Because there was more that okay, yeah, there was an 8 of Wands. Where is that? There was a little section that fell out. That was one of the main things I wanted to say before I end this, but let me see if there's anything more. Okay, so there was the 10 of Swords with the Queen of Cups, right? There was something. What was it? Okay, so this is you collective, and this is see how she's got things going on. Like, she looks like she's, she's in a beautiful place. She's built something, but she's distracted. She's looking back. She's looking back at past burdens, at something that was of huge significance, life-changing. And that, I think, was causing you to be a little bit kind of stagnant. It was, I feel like you felt stagnant, like things were not moving along because there was that sense of waiting, like I had said. Okay, let me take a look real quick. Okay, these all came out together. One of those, like, when I was shuffling but the deck just kind of spit them all out, and I like I said, I always find a story in that, so of course I looked at them. They came out in a pile together, so it was like that, and then all of these came out upside in the reverse like that. Now, okay, this is the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. This is the Four of Swords, and and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so the way it's like looking back. Okay, you've been building yourself. You've been doing the work. Okay, you've been doing a lot of healing. You've still been stunned. It's been hovering. How could it not, right? What you went through was so incredibly traumatic and surreal. And then I don't think that you even had a chance to really absorb all the transitions that you were making. Like, I think that you just went forward because you had to survive, and because you were being guided to. And so intuitively you were taking the steps, and you were, and your guides, like spirit, was carrying you into this new beginning. Just, you were just intuitively guided, but so many things happened, and so you never, because you were just being led, you never really stopped to absorb all the changes, the things that you've accomplished, what you've lived through, what you've survived, right? And I think you kind of stopped almost like a deer in headlights, sort of, but more so just like, I think at some point you feel like you've been going, and you feel like something's coming, and it, not quite like you had to wait for it, but it was almost like it was weighing you down a little bit. Like I think you just, there's like this stunned feeling that I'm getting, where you just didn't have a chance to really process everything that's happened, because there has been such an extreme like amount of growth, changes, trauma, healing. I mean, so much in a short time, but possibly years, possibly not so short at all, but considering the impact of these things, there were so many impactful things that happened, that you just going through the motions to survive, you didn't quite stop to really be able to really absorb it or look back, because you couldn't, because you wouldn't have survived if you did. So you just kept going. But then I think you got a minute at some point, and you just like, whoa, 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 what, whoa, like what's happened? Like, now you started to get a little bit overwhelmed, and then you started to process, and then you're like, wait, but what is this energy? Because I think you were feeling this energy of something happening, but then you were looking back and trying to process what happened, like, whoa, what really did happen? Did that happen? Like, how is this all happening, and where am I now? And whoa, how, like, it's all starting to hit you. Okay, so what I want to say with this is, oh my goodness, my cats are going crazy. Okay, what I want to say with this is, while you were looking back and trying to process now finally some of the changes that you've been through, I think it's been so much that you can't even just process this in a short time, because it's been so much. And I think that's why it's kind of hitting you like, whoa, right? But while you're doing that and trying to process, I think what Spirit is wanting you to know is, the parties that were involved in orchestrating your demise, I'm supposed to say it specifically like that, okay? The parties that were involved, like, I'm not saying this is all ahead of you. I'm saying while you're looking back, kind of stunned and trying to process all this burden, this is the 10 of Wands, what you've already been through, what was done. Do you even have all the answers? No, there's no possible way that you can, and most of it's been spiritual. Okay, you're processing that. Well, now, present time, what you're looking away from, because you can't see it. You can't see what this is. But what this is, give me a minute. Where is it? What this is your justice that's happening behind the scenes, but now it is happening current time. And you can't remember your dreams because they don't want your focus on that, because you're so shielded, you're so protected, you're just like this delicate flower, but you're not. You're so strong, and just, I don't have, oh my goodness, sorry, the cats are going crazy. I saw this as a wand, like, whatever harm tries to come to you, you're shielded and protected. And also, I see this as, like, I saw this as a sword that meant to harm you, but then I also see this as truth. You're protected by the truth. You're protected by, what did I hear? I heard something. I don't know if it was a saying by Buddha, and I don't want to like mess it up, but basically it's the truth always, like, it exists, it's energetic, it is a staple. The truth will always come out eventually. I think it was something like like, you can't stop this. Oh, I saw a movie that said it recently. That's why it popped into my head. Like something like three things that you can't change is, you know, the sun rising, the sun or the moon, and then the truth. Something. I will get that for you guys because it's bothering me, and I'm going to butcher it. But basically, you're protected by the truth. This truth that you felt that was just such an injustice because of all the lies, like that same truth is protecting you because it's your truth. It's the divine protecting you because that they know the truth, not because they know the truth, but they know the truth. And that's what I'm saying is, like, your truth, the truth, whether you think that others know it or not, because I feel like it was so harmful to you, the amount, the length, and the viciousness of the lies that were told about you. I think that it was even more disturbing that you didn't even know fully the viciousness of the lies, but you knew that they were so vicious that, like, to know them would probably be more harm to you than good. I think that it was such an injustice, just heartbreaking to you, that it was, you wanted, like, you prayed for the truth to be revealed, for your name to be cleared. It wasn't about revenge, but it was just about that it was so wrong. It was so wrong on so many levels for anyone to be lied about. It's that, to that vicious of an extent, to the vulgarity, if that's a word, that, like, I can't express it. I honestly can't find the words. I'm gonna have to start creating words to try and express what it is that I'm feeling and how it slayed you. And I think that what the divine wants you to know, what your guides and, you know, protectors want you to know, is the truth prevails as the truth no matter what, because this world is temporary. Spirit is the true form, and every truth is known in spirit. So lies can only be that for people that are really asleep, and for the time being while they are asleep. It's not something that I could understand why it would burden you and how it would burden you. So I would not dare say it's not something that should burden you to that extent. But please listen to the reasoning of your spirit, your soul, your heart. You know that nothing that anybody thinks about you defines you. Your authenticity, your heart, who you are, the truth, it is you. You are true, and the truth is you. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this, but you cannot wear the scarlet letter. There is nothing that they can do. They can't put it on you. Energetically, you felt stained. You can't be. It's impossible. It can only seem that way because it would seem that, especially if you were surrounded by nothing but people that were being used as vessels, people that were sleepwalking, and so they were basically just like zombies in a sense, because they weren't in control of their own vessel. So what I'm getting, like sleepwalkers, or like I'm getting like sleepwalking, like I'm like there's a, okay, specifically because like witchcraft, okay, so yeah, um because there was definitely a lot of energetic manipulation that was done on top of the lies. There was work that was being done on you and others, and it propelled you into an awakening, and it did serve a purpose. The magic that you know your life to be, and the reality of the divine and the spiritual world, like really, where you knew not to second guess yourself, and now you know why. to know that, you will never be alone, that you never were alone, that there's more than just this life, that there's this life while this life is here, and beyond this life while this life is currently happening. There's like, different dimension, time, space. Like, there is no time. There is no, you know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. And if I'm not, it's okay. But I think the biggest part of this was that you don't need to, I get trying to process what you've been through, and that would be good to do, because I think it's been so much that it would be good for you to kind of process some of it, especially the magic that you've witnessed, that you've lived through, that you've literally lived through this magic that has been holding you up, like as if I saw like you floating on a cloud, just instead of walking, you're floating on a cloud through life. Just to awaken to that, I mean, that's no small thing. And it would take something very big to awaken to something so grand. And I think that you do know that, and that you do understand that, but I think it just had to do with trying to process, and then becoming a little bit overwhelmed, or just a little stagnant because of it. And anyway, you did release that somehow. I think you got tired of this energetically waiting. I don't think you intended to wait, but that looking back a little bit caused you to be a little stagnant. And something that you've done, there's something that you've done, and I don't know, did you do it in your sleep? I mean, you're definitely magical enough to do it. There is something that you have done that has really set things in motion. And so one of the messages now, besides sleep, rest, like breathe in that rest. your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit, your heart, your skin, like inhale, breathe life in the day when you're awake. Take moments, take deep breaths, breathe in gratitude, breathe in hope. Just know how loved you are, and then in the night, sleep. And the dreams, they will come. You will start to remember. You're not blocked. If you're not seeing as much now, I think you felt a little blocked, energetically blocked. And I honestly think that your guides have just been protecting you, even from yourself. They're like, you don't need to see everything right now. What we want you right now, like for you right now, is rest and like that, like breathe. I heard rest and breathe. And when I'm saying breathe, I'm looking at like the skin, like breathing, like when you breathe in and out, like your chest raising up and down. I'm also seeing like plants breathing, like really breathe. I mean, breathe into every cell of your body. Big, long, deep breaths. Hold it in. Let it all out. And then sleep. Like, breathe in gratitude. Breathe in love. Breathe in peace. And then, just breathe out all the stagnant, all the negative, all the hate that was projected onto you that you felt like stained you. I love you. I heard I love you. It could never stain you. It will never stain you. Ever. There's no possibility there. You will not be damaged by what was done. It served the purpose of awakening you, to who you are, and to who God is. The role that He plays in your life. The protection and the love that He surrounds you with. This is for you to know you and for you to know God. Okay, so I might leave it there. Honestly, I didn't get all of this when I decided to make the video. I was getting a lot off of, the Three of Swords, like I was telling you about, and everything that I said, but so much more came, and now I understand why. Because I heard, like, don't move the cards. I was gonna move them and set up, like, on the table. I was thinking about trying to lay them out on the table for the video, but actually just reshuffling and taking that as a pre-pull, and then trying to explain to you guys what I got, and then going further into the reading. But to be honest with you, I feel a satisfaction right now that I didn't think that I was going to get from just these cards. I thought I was supposed to not touch it, start reading, which is what I was supposed to do, and then I was going to do a quick video, and then I was going to set up and then come back on and shuffle on camera and start to do to pull more on that energy on the reading. But now I understand why Spirit told me not to move anything and just to come on and do this. So I feel like I got most of it out, so I'm probably not going to come back on tonight and do another reading. However, there was something else, because I did see, hold on, give me a minute, okay? I know I saw, there was another message I saw, like the Eight of Wands. There's another pile I'm looking at right here. I don't know if these were, did I look at these before? Yeah, this is the Eight of Wands. with the Hangman. Okay. Was that the Seven of Wands in reverse? These were all in reverse. The Eight of Wands, the Hangman in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and then the Magician upright. Oh, let me just do it this way. Okay. Then it was like this. Eight of Swords. That's the, okay, I remember. Nine of Pentacles. And then the King of Pentacles. Okay, there was something I saw. Let me see if it'll come back to me. All right. I'm not going to look at it with the camera. In fact, I'm going to hold this here so that I can just kind of look at the cards. If I look at it through the camera, I'm not picking up from it the way that I do when I just look at it kind of in person. So I'm going to hold you guys here on the Empress, which is you. All right. Okay, with the Eight of Wands and the Hangman, I saw this like stagnancy. Like there's okay because they're both in reverse, but there was something. What was it? I'm seeing that someone's been stopped. Literally, someone's been stopped. Like if you were speeding. Okay. I don't know, I'm seeing like red light, but like somebody that was gonna speed through the red light and then they realized last minute that they can't, like they got stopped. Like, okay, there was a cop. Okay, like there was a cop right when they were gonna speed through the red light, and then they like had to like step on the brakes, which wasn't much better because that's still like really loud. Like you're gonna I don't know, that's what I just saw. Someone has been stopped. Okay, this person is a clown, and and I heard, yeah, this person is a clown. That's what I heard. And then I saw an actual clown. I didn't see the clown. I didn't like see it as a clown until I heard that, yeah, this person's a clown. And then I saw that, so that's interesting. Yeah, this person that was like playing a lot with magic. And it was all to stop your success. I see I'm actually getting collective energy as a feminine energy, and then I just picked it up specifically here. Of course, feminine energy could be male or female, but this is the clown. I'm seeing that. And they were trying to create illusions for you and all around you. They were trying to change your destiny. They were trying to make you believe that your destiny had been changed so that you would manifest the change of your own destiny. Like they were throwing illusions all over the place at you, at everybody in your world, around you, surrounding you, probably your community. I did see with the Three of Cups that I saw that came out sideways. Like people were, okay, when the Three of Cups came out sideways, all right, they showed me that. It was like a community of people that were so, okay, I heard low class, but it was a community of people that was, I think I saw it came out sideways, and they're showing me that specifically, and then I'm hearing crooked. it's a community that was just crooked. Like, they didn't have no kind of grounding in spirit, I heard. They weren't grounded in spirit. So they didn't have control of their own vessel. Like, a lot of us can be manipulated by energies. I mean, that's how it goes. And you actually have to work really hard to get to know your own energy, and then to check yourself, when you're acting out of character. These people in this community were so easy. I heard that specifically. They were so easy because they were not grounded in spirit. They didn't even want to be. There was no desire for them to be. These were not people that even, like, their whole mentality, like their whole perception of right and wrong was so twisted. There was no desire to even do right. There was no care about right or wrong by most of the people in this community. This is why they were so easily manipulated. Their vessels were so easily used through spell work, through entity attachments. They willingly gave up their rights to their vessel because they did not have okay, Bella just stepped right on his head. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's throwing illusions, and they're saying fool. But he was able to do it because the community was crooked. The community that you were in, because you moved for sure. You're not in that. Which card now? Which card are you showing me? Which one did I pull before? Okay, this one. With the Queen of Cups. You're not in that community anymore. You looked back at, that was you looking back at the disaster. But that whole community was crooked, and it's kind of like what I was saying before about that, it hurts to be not just attacked, but just everything about who you are is just taken away from you. Everything that you've worked for is just taken, just pulled from under you, like you never did nothing ever, with your time. Like, everything that you lost, it was time, it was you. And then to slander you so heavily on top of it was like, I mean, insult to injury does not even touch the intensity and the horror of what was done to you. Like, I get it, but okay, so Spirit just wants, I guess the point is that, I don't want to say people, of course people matter, but this community that you felt, it felt like the whole world, even though of course you knew it wasn't the whole world. It was your world. It was your time spent, your energy. It was friendships made, relationships made, possibly family. This was your world. This community was your world for quite some time. And so to just be blindsided and then have everything taken from you, and then on top of that, you didn't even have the right, of course, what I'm going to say is you didn't even have the right, according to them, as far as they were concerned, to even carry your name, the value in your name, because you actually walk with integrity and live with integrity, even when you were able to be manipulated and used by entities, when the spell work was working because of the trauma that you had. You always were a person that was driven by integrity. You were always a person that would admit when you were wrong. You were a person that wanted to learn from your mistakes. You were a person that genuinely wanted good for other people. You still are. But at this time, when your name was just completely dogged, you were the complete opposite. Not, okay, I heard F the opposite. You were like way above anything that they were saying. Like you weren't even the opposite of what they were saying, like, is what Spirit is telling me. Spirit showed me like a pedestal. Like, your heart had, honestly, they see you as, although you might see your mistakes because you were your biggest critic, and before you learn about self-love, Spirit held you on this pedestal long before even, okay, so there might have been addictions, maybe alcohol, maybe drugs. There's a lot of things that you recovered from that I don't even think that you've given yourself the time to like realize like how badass you are and what you've accomplished. There's so many levels of what you accomplished, but what they want you to know is that even before these accomplishments, like, of course they already knew that you would accomplish these things, but even before you knew that you would accomplish these things, the desire that was in your heart to be good, to heal others, even before you even knew, hey, heal myself, like even before you knew to love yourself, you carried this heart of integrity and this, my God, you're a beautiful, beautiful person. What a beautiful soul you are. And to think of how you beat yourself up and this is before you learn to love yourself and embrace yourself. And it's almost like it took these people like viciously tearing you apart for you to like look back and be like, whoa, I don't deserve this. Like, why am I being so hard on myself? Look at these evil mother effers. Like you really were just like, wait a minute. What is going on here? You realized the need for self-love and that the things that you were being so critical of yourself about were things that other people were doing like times 1,000 so much worse, and you never once judged them for it, but you were so hard on yourself for minute things. But Spirit just wants you to know that you were on this pedestal in their eyes before you even made any of the changes, because your heart was so pure and so full of love and desire to do the right thing, to want the right thing for others. The same people that were hating you and for no reason just viciously wanting to see you destroyed. You didn't know that at the time, but you loved these people. So yeah, Spirit had you on a pedestal, wanting you to see yourself and know yourself, and wanting you to accomplish all these magnificent things that you still haven't even touched, but you've already come so phenomenally far. If you're going to stop and think about how far you come, like, I want you to really take that home. And just love yourself like 1,000 times more than you've already learned to. I heard you deserve it. Okay. Everything that's coming, everything that you have within you, that magic that's within you. Okay, back to this. Okay. I heard creep and fool, but whatever. I don't really like to say those things so many times. I've already gotten the point across with that the first time I said it. But yeah, basically, yeah, so he was stirring all this stuff up. I'm saying he because I told you I feel the masculine when I saw this card and that card. And yeah, when I basically started this pile, I was getting specifically that this was a masculine that did this to a feminine. Um and yeah, I think, I don't know if I said it clear enough, but to just drive home that the reason that this person was able to change your world so drastically with this community, you've been kind of stunned as to how can so many people just believe, like how can, because this is extreme, and apparently this is a lot of people. So I think that it just had you kind of stunned, and spirit wants you to know it's because these people were crooked. This was a crooked bunch of people. This whole community had no integrity, and spirit wants you to know that. They did not lead their life with a desire to do right. They did not lead their life with gratitude or looking at other people and wanting to see them do well. They looked at other people. The majority of this community looked at other people and were in competition with those people. And it was always about material gain and how they can pull others down. And they hated you for the integrity that was very clear to them that you had. So no one works that hard to prove that somebody is that bad. If you were that bad, I think it would have just been obvious. I don't think that it would have had to be carried through the wind just as lies. Like, I don't think that so many people would have had to say it. If you were so horrible as all these people like were so quick to believe, it would have had to have been a lot more obvious than word, like, you know what I mean? There would be no need to speak of you being these terrible things. It would have shown. At the end of the day, people just listened to what they wanted to hear because they were weak, spiritually weak. They were not driven by the right things, and that's why they were so easy to manipulate, because really they didn't have to be manipulated. They were people that would gladly look for the bad in others because it made them feel good. That's what they thrived on. They needed to see failure around them to feel that they were doing right in the world. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. It's completely backwards, but that's crooked. Like, that's why the spirit said that the card came out with that it came out sideways. The Three of Cups. Look at this one holding up a trophy. Look what I got. Look at me. Look at me. This one's making fun. Ha ha. Ah, look at her. Like, it's just ridiculous. This one, I see so much vanity. Material vanity. And just, what? Jealousy, envy? I don't know. I'm just seeing their focus was always on negative things. These people didn't lead with their heart. So I think the point, and why I keep saying it, I think the point is, like, don't care what these kinds of people think. Don't let that staple you. Don't let that make you feel like you've got a stain on your energy. It was manipulation. It was magic. It was attacking you, spiritual warfare. It was, it's not a stain. You can't be stained. You are too pure of a being. Your heart is. People make mistakes. We learn. We're here to learn. who wants to live a life without mistakes? What are you going to learn? You know, it doesn't make you a bad person. And I just think that I understand why this was so painful for you, but I think also that you know so much more now, and so you should have the understanding at this point that these are not people that you should care at all what they think. The only person that can make you wear a stained energy is you, and that's only by your own stained belief, because of allowing the pain to put a dent, you know, in your soul. The pain of what was done to you, to release that. You release it, because it's not yours to carry. It's not your burden to carry. And you know, I get it. I get how that could feel. That it's so much easier said than done. But I think that's why I keep going around and around and coming back to Spirit really wanting you to understand that this was manipulation, and it worked so easily because these were people that were not the kind of people that wanted to see someone succeed. They were not the kind of people that wanted to see a person with love in their heart, because they didn't know how to find that love within their own heart. And you were just a reminder of what they were missing to them. And it's very sad. You didn't deserve what was done to you. But my love, that served its purpose. Because would you ever want to be the person that didn't know how valuable you are, how loved you are, how full you are in spirit and flesh and just existence? You're a beautiful soul. You can't, your energy cannot be stained. It's all an illusion. And it was one that was worked. Like, they worked so hard that alone should tell you, if it takes so many people to try and tear down one person, how incredible must you be? How strong, how much stronger than I think you ever knew yourself to be must you really have been all along. And yeah, this was all done with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, to take away to distort your own image of yourself, of your abundance. Everybody saw you as abundant. Everybody in this community that worked so hard to do what they did to you, and the ones that were so willing to believe it, they already saw you in a way that you just didn't see yourself. And they thought, well, if we can really tear her down and all turn on her, she'll never see it in herself. She'll hate herself. She'll manifest her own demise. And if Spirit didn't wake you up, you would have. Okay, I see that there's someone waiting. Somebody's waiting to give. I think this has to do with that message, but with the King of Pentacles, I'm seeing someone sitting on something that belongs to you, that is getting it to you, and they're looking forward to it. Like, they're really pleased that they get to be the person that gets this to you, and they're going to make sure that they do. I think, wow, I didn't expect this, guys. I was going to come on and I was going to give you about a 10-minute read of what I saw in the pre-poll. And now that all this is pouring out, I'm realizing why Spirit told me don't touch the cards, don't move the cards, sit right here and start videoing. Like I was very clear. I was told like exactly like you, and then I was like, well, okay, I didn't get all this, so I didn't understand why, other than I thought I was supposed to just describe like it as a pre-pull in about 10 minutes and then come back on and then like shuffle and then pull more and get to know more. But all of this came out, so they were like, you don't need to pull anymore. Just sit there and read these. Like, they've been trying to get me to do this. Oh man, things have been so crazy, you guys. Things have been so crazy. So this energy has been stopped dead in their tracks. I think from a while ago. I think this is just showing what this energy was doing. But they've been stopped dead in their tracks. Dead in their tracks. I don't know why I said dead like that, but I'm not, what does it say? It's just the Hangman. I'm getting some more, but I don't really feel the need off of that card to really elaborate on that. I don't know. Oh. Okay. I don't know. There's possibly something about jail that's right behind everything that this person has done, divination wise. It could be like a spiritual person because of all the energy. Like, you send all of that out, it's got to go somewhere. And my love collective, it is not coming to you. It's just not. The world, the universe, by our creator, by the Almighty, this universe was not created that way. Not for a person like you to carry the karma of a person like this. There's no way. And the truth, that's why I said to you, like, the truth is the truth, no matter where you are, no matter who knows it, because everyone that matters at this moment knows the truth. You know why? Everyone that matters will always know the truth. You know why? Because God knows the truth. And God is the creator of all things, including mankind. So mankind's lies carry no weight up against the Almighty. There is just no way. And time is very different, with us on the 3D. So where things may seem like they take forever, it's not forever. It's as long as it needs to for things to be divinely ordered, organized, processed, because there's so many other things that are intertwined with this. There's so many players involved. So it's not just about your justice. Your justice, by the way, always was. It always is, no matter if it's surfaced or not. From the moment that lies were told, from the moment that you were deceived, that these things were taken away from you, that, you went through this, from that moment, you already regained your name, your abundance, all of these things just had to happen like as a ripple effect. But the minute it started, it finished. The minute it started, God finished it, because the truth is the truth. You are the truth, and there's no way around that. And there is no words, there is no beliefs that's going to change the truth. I just want to really drive that home. I feel like I need to. Like I need you to know that there's just, oh, sorry, you guys see my slippers on the floor. Like, I never video like this, but okay, I try to stick it to the cards. But yeah, there is no undoing the truth, and time is an illusion. So the moment that the lies were told, the truth was revealed. When you look at it, if you can see it the way that I'm seeing it, or I'm trying to get you to see it, like if you think about the moment that I snapped my finger, the lie was told, the truth was told, the truth was shown, because God knows and sees all. And because the Spirit is the true form, and through the Holy Spirit, we are the truth. Like the truth is, it just is. So it's all an illusion. Lies, they're an illusion. Spell work, an illusion. So it's just temporary. It's just noise and chaos, and it's just like how the devil and his minions play. And you are not meant to get intertwined into that by believing or feeding into it, because it hurts, and you suffer, and you had to go through these motions like a ripple. That ripple effect, the wave has to go, and then everything evens out again, right? So all of this time, everything was like that ripple, the motion of, okay, this was set out energetically, and it caused this wave, it caused this ripple, but it's all going to even out. So you can already just go to the point where there's stillness again, and because you already know it's coming, so it already exists. It's already your reality. And it can suck having to go through those waves, that part of it that's, a little jagged, and there's a little turmoil, but it's all an illusion, because the truth is the reality. What is true is the reality, and it's always going to finish with the truth. It's going to start with the truth, and it's going to finish with the truth. And I am certain that, if I was to shuffle and go and do another reading, yes, I'm going to keep saying the same stuff. And I think I actually feel that what needed to come out has come out. And I hope that this wasn't like, I haven't done the readings like this before, but I was trying to be obedient and do what I was guided to do, and it led me to this, and it's been an hour and a half, and I intended to come on and give you a 10-minute, just like a 10-minute kind of a recap type of thing of the pre-pull, and then we were going to pull together on camera while I was able to set up. And Spirit was just laughing at me, because they were like, no, don't move anything, just go on. And they actually told me that, like, yeah, just go on, explain that to them for 10 minutes. But right now, don't move anything. Don't shuffle the cards. Don't place the cards on the table, and then, get the camera ready, and then come back on to do the rest. Just do this first, Like Spirit told me, like, do this first. It'll be quick. Do your 10-minute whatever. And then you guys heard how I started the video. And then they just took over. Like an hour and a half later. Okay. Well, I love you. I hope that this finds the ears and the souls that it is meant to find. And I do feel like I said what was meant to be said. Although I don't normally do the readings this way, but maybe I will. I don't know. I'm just glad that I did. Um, I I'm a little bit wow. Okay, this is fun. All right, so spit now I'm looking at this card and Spirit's like, okay, wrap it up. Wrap it up. All right. We're done. I love you guys. Until next time. Okay, bye.